Hi everyone and welcome back to the second video on my channel. Today I'm going over 15 things I sold on eBay the week of August 15th through the 21st for a total gross profit of $824. And stick around to the end because I'm saving the best for last. These aren't all the items I sold or necessarily the most profitable. I just chose these because they're not the most obvious buys, they're easily overlooked in stores, or they're just plain cool. If you're just starting out thrifting to make some extra money, I hope something I talk about can help you out. So let's get started. First of all, we have the Scully embroidered Western shirt. Usually any Western shirts are good buys for me. I picked this up for $2 along with another one that I still have listed. I sent out an offer of $40 and they accepted. This one was different. It had these really pretty embroidered butterflies all over the front, and then the buttons themselves had butterflies on them. So if you find any like oddball, not the normal Western shirts, those are definitely good buys. Next up, we have this pair of kids' shoes. I'm not usually too big on buying kids' shoes. These I picked up for $1. They were at a yard sale also. And they sold for $25 for the best offer that I accepted from someone. With kids going back to school, everybody's starting out. Usually you can get a little bit better price for kids' shoes around this time of year. And next up, playing cards. These are usually, you can be found, I think I picked up these for 50 cents. But any of the ones that are a little bit different, those usually sell better for me than others. These were actually, it had all the paperwork with it and the actual cards themselves. The cards weren't too awful different from regular playing cards, but it was the theme of bundles for Britain from World War II that sold these. So these sold for $20. And then next we have a 2-book lot of Tennessee Williams plays. These were Library of America, and they came each in like a hardcover case. I paid $2 each for these. I'm $4 in for the both of them, and they sold for $40. I don't usually stand and look around at books all the time, but these struck my eye as just a little bit different. So I did look them up. They didn't have barcodes to scan, which may be why they were still there, because I know a lot of booksellers around me will just scan barcodes, and if it doesn't have a barcode, they just ignore it. So I have another set of 2. I think the other ones were Edgar Allan Poe, maybe, that I still have, but I'm waiting on those to sell. And then next, I have this Hard Rock Cafe Cozumel, Mexico sweatshirt. I picked this up for $1 at a yard sale, sold it for $25. This one's vintage. Usually some of the newer Hard Rock Cafes, they don't really go for this much, but this one was such a bright color on the plain gray sweatshirt, so I knew somebody'd want it. And then next, actually I took a best offer of $80 for this Castlevania Curse of Darkness PS2 game. I picked this up at a thrift store that normally prices their stuff a little bit high, but this was only $3. It was $2.99 at the thrift store, and I got $80 for it. Usually video games are a pretty good pickup. Some of them go for more than others, but I knew Castlevania was a good one, so I picked this one up. And then next we have this Columbia jacket. I'm not really too big of a fan of picking up Columbia. I'll only do it if it's, I thought the orange collar on this was pretty good. And it was a heavier like ski jacket, a heavier weight. It had a lining inside of it, and it was a men's 2XL. So I picked it up, I believe it was $5 at a Goodwill, and sold it for $30. And then next we have some My Little Ponies. This lot of 4, I took a best offer of $30 on. 2 of these were they're called So Soft ponies. They have flocking on them. And then the other ones are just the normal My Little Ponies. These were a good purchase. I think I paid 50 cents for 2 of them. So I think I'm all in $1 on these ones. And got $30 for. And then next is a men's Samuel Adams fleece jacket. This I think I paid, this was $1 at a thrift store local to me that does sales occasionally. So I don't have too much in it, just $1. It's not a grain brand. I think it's just Polartec. Yeah. But I knew with having the Samuel Adams beer advertisement on it that it would sell it. So I got $27 for that one. And then next are these adorable little poodles. These things I paid 50 cents for at a thrift store just because I knew they were so cute somebody would want them. They had plenty of paint wear. You could see the red was coming off of the helmets. They didn't have any breaks or anything like that. They just had the most cutest little faces. So I'm $1 into those, and I got $30 for them. And then next, this thing I actually got for $0.25 at a thrift store that was having a sale. All their clothes were $0.25. So, when you pick up something for $0.25, I don't normally like to sell stuff for $12, but it's easy like this. You throw it on a mannequin, get a quick picture, throw it in a poly bag to ship it. It doesn't take too long at all. So I went ahead and did that. $0.25 into $12. I will take that. And then next is a better shirt sale. This one I picked up for $1 at a church rummage sale. This church in particular always has a bunch of vintage shirts. I don't know why. I get some every year from the same church sale. This one, I didn't even have to accept an offer. They bought it full price for $100. And I want to say just a couple weeks, maybe. I don't think it was very long at all that it took. And I got $100. The tag, you can tell it's vintage. I mean, the tag just looks old. And I figured that was a good buy. And then next we have this little guy. He is from the Teletubbies, if you don't recognize him. He is Nunu. It was like a vacuum cleaner. You pulled the little thing on the end of it, and it made like a vibrating noise and then scooted across the table. He still had the little pull here on the tag and everything. And I got $25 for it. I think I paid $1 for it at a thrift store. And then next we have this men's LL Bean sweatshirt. It's getting to be that season. These are starting to sell more. This one I've had for a while though. Looks like February was when I listed this one. I probably paid $3.99 for this one at our local thrift store. That's usually what the sweater prices are for it. And I got $40. And then last is my favorite sale of them all. This one, this Ralph Lauren sport polo jacket, I got $300 for this. I paid $5.99 at a local thrift store. You can see the tag right here. Any of the vintage Ralph Lauren stuff sells great. I've sold a hat before for I think $300, and then I've sold some other items here and there. This one I knew with this huge big logo on the back. That was what would sell it, and it's a satin jacket, buttons up the front, and then it's got the polo there. I figured that would sell pretty quick, and it did. I think this sold within a day. It didn't take too long at all. And there we go. That is all 15 things. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.